Question
You
for you
mind
guys.
your business.
Do you guys think, just out of curiosity, who do you guys think lives a harder life, men or women, in 2026?
Women.
Okay,
I
hold
think
on.
men.
Let's go around the
Women.
table. Let's start with Miss
100% sure.
Bridgeport here.
You guys do not
All
pop
right,
out babies
look.
and
When I'm
have to go
talking,
through everything.
I need you to be quiet so I can go around the panel and get everyone's take before you interrupt, please. Okay? So we'll start here.
I say
Who lives a
men.
harder life, men or women? In modern society, we could say, in modern age. Go ahead.
In modern society, I
Yeah.
say men.
You think men? All right. What about you?
I think it's equal.
All right. What about you?
Men.
You think men? Okay. What about you?
Women.
All right.
I think it's a lot of demographics that you have to think about, but
Sure.
I think it's in the middle. We have different struggles.
Okay, so who?
Okay. And I'll let you elucidate. Okay. So who do you think it is? And you can tell me why. Like
men or women.
yeah, overall, and then you can say why you think that.
Who would
real
you
quick.
put first?
I
Well,
understand.
obviously,
What
I'll
you're saying.
put as a woman. I'll put women.
Okay, sure. Why do you think women?
Just like one of us said, even with childbearing issues, like we sacrifice a lot. Even you have people, especially minority women, dying in the hospital from trying to have a baby. Because there's a lack of care there, so that's something to think about in society.
So childbearing is the main reason.
Not just that. It's also like even with the idea of we have these privileges. So like that idealism makes people want to be mean. It's like a double-edged sword. Like they'll be mean to women, thinking that you're gonna get everything you want anyway. So I'm going to be an asshole to you, right?
Okay.
So if you have a lot of people thinking like that, then you have a lot of people wanting to be assholes to you.
Okay.
Because
So
of
the
that.
privileges are there, but you get almost like insulted for having said privileges.
Having certain privileges, and men also have certain privileges, obviously different from women, but
Okay. I'll come back to that. What about you? What do you think?
Equal.
You think it's equally hard? Okay. What about you?
I'd say in the Western world, I think that men have a bit harder time.
Okay. What about you?
I think it's equal.
You think it's equal? Okay. Why do you think it's equal for you?
I mean, everyone suffers like different issues, like men and women.
Okay.
So
What is the top suffering thing for men and then for women, in your opinion?
for men,
Mhm.
I feel like maybe their like image of themselves. Sometimes they try to live up,
Okay.
Struggle.
And then for
Try to
women?
live up to their
Because-
standards.
No, it's
You know
not
what I mean?
that. I mean, yeah. Because
Okay, and then
a
for
lot
women,
of
what's hard for you guys?
expect like a high, and then they all like struggle. I guess I have a brother, so like I know.
Okay. And for women, what's hard for you guys?
And for women, I feel like trying to find like it's hard. Wait. I mean, for women, it's a lot of things. There's childbearing. There's like hormonal things that like suck, and it's with every single woman. And then I don't know, but like I think
Fantastic.
it's
What about you?
but-
What's the question?
Well, you're saying you think it's harder for men in the West. Why do you think it's harder for men in the West, I guess?
I think that obviously women have all of our rights here in the West, so we have all the opportunities that men have. But I do think that in the sense of what this podcast is about, which I feel like it's kind of like a dating podcast, women have that a lot easier, and being able to find companionship makes life a lot easier. And I think that the men who go long periods of time without companionship end up having a harder time in life in general.
So you think companionship is easier for women?
Yeah, and I think companionship is incredibly important.
Interesting. Okay. And then why do you think it's equally difficult for both?
Because men have to like live up to an image to get certain women.
And then what do women have to do? What makes their life hard?
Of course, like just the hormonal childbearing, and also like getting perceived as like something that you're not. But I guess that could go both ways, men and women.
Interesting. Okay. So you gave the childbearing argument too. What about you? What do you think? You think for women it's hard because of childbearing? And
I can include like something different.
Yeah,
I mean,
do it, yeah.
They're all just copying each other's
Yeah,
I
answers
can
at this
include something
point.
different.
and you mentioned like the glass ceiling, I
That's
guess,
not
of
really
like being
copying
like
each other. It's really hard
labeled a certain
in
like
life.
it being stereotyped, right?
Is it though?
And being stereotyped, like the whole like privilege thing, because you are a woman. So because you are a woman, I'm not going to do certain things.
Okay.
You have a lot of people thinking that way.
Yeah.
Also, like, you know, PMS is definitely very hard for everybody's different with PMS, you know.
So childbearing, PMS, invisible ceiling,
and then
or the invisible glass ceiling.
And then also just like the perception of your biological clock, or people perceiving because you
Yeah.
are a certain age,
Yeah.
you want this and that, when it's not really the case. Everyone has their different journey in life, despite what sex they are.
Okay. So you think like women can derive the same pleasure from attaining success and a title like a man can?
I not like a man can, because, you know, statistics are like in certain positions men do get paid more just because. But like
better.
but like
Wage gap.
but like the, you know, there are women that are thriving, making their own money. So I understand why some women say, oh, I want a man who makes, you know, 75, 80 or 100K, because they're probably also making that much depending on their, you know, level of where they're at. in
Yeah,
life.
what I'm asking you is like, do you think women are going to actually get like fulfillment and long-term happiness from a career and a title?
I do think that you need a companion. You're not meant to be alone in this world, really. But it's your definition on what companionship really is. You know, like, you do want a man to feel like they're, you know, you feel safe with them for the most part.
Okay, so companionship is important. What do you think is more important for a woman, a companionship or like a career overall?
I think a woman should make sure that she does have a foundation, because you can't depend on, you as a human being, you can't depend on someone. You don't know when it's going to end or whatever. So
Okay.
you can't just be, okay, I'm like, when a man can change their mind very fast. So like
Interesting.
when
Who ends more relationships,
Ooh.
men or women?
who ends the relationships
Who
more?
who ends relationships the majority of the time?
In Western
I can't
society.
say. I mean,
Women.
I can't really say that.
It's
but
women
like,
overwhelmingly.
It's women.
Yeah,
women will go
And-
for a divorce before a man does, because a divorce is expensive. Men don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Men will try
I
to
don't
make
think
it
that's
work.
why.
Yeah, but I mean, like,
It
women
is.
still overwhelmingly not just initiate divorces, but they initiate breakups and everything else like that.
They get bored.
I don't think that. I think it's
also-
more of an emotion. I don't think it's a
Yeah.
boredom thing. I think, you know, sometimes women are just like, enough is enough, like in
Yeah.
terms of certain things.
Like what? Like what though? Like
Not feeling emotionally safe, really.
yeah, you get bored.
Okay.
That's not getting bored.
Emotionally,
There's
the
a man-
emotions.
there's a guy a guy could be funny and just like exciting and everything. But
besides,
if you don't
I
feel
guess,
safe,
so your argument is it's harder for women because women have to get a stable foundation, then find a guy later on, and then they're on an emotional time clock, then on a biological time clock, emotional time clock, and then on top of that, they have men, I guess, thinking that they're inferior, not given certain opportunities, they get stonewalled, so all these different things make
there's
it
all
negative.
these just misconceptions like that in terms of, because I'm a woman,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I have to do this, I have to do that, which is not the case. Like, you're in this journey we call life, you know, like don't judge me just based off the demographics. Like, judge me as a person and getting to know me. Like,
Interesting. Do you agree with her, I'm guessing, Nicaragua? You agree with her on that? Because you said women, it's harder for women too.
Yes, it really is. And it's not talking about the same topic. It really is really hard, you know, the topic about having a baby and stuff like that. I experienced it, yes, and it is very hard. You know, you guys,
So childbearing-
you men
Childbearing is what makes it
wouldn't
harder.
be birthed if you guys
That's
didn't come
one
out
thing
of
that
a
can make it
woman,
harder.
you know?
Okay,
And the
well, we're
pressure
talking
is from
about
a man.
acute pain versus a
It's not
lifetime
acute.
of
also the
pain.
pressures of
That's-
having
I
a
threw
child.
up
Like,
on
people
myself,
like
honey.
That- and
you get
that's-
pressures
that's
from
what acute
you
pain
get
is.
pressures
Oh.
from women.
Yeah, big fucking
I
deal.
had a 10-pound baby
Okay.
come out of me.
Not
cut
everybody.
open.
Not everybody.
As a
not
woman,
every
you're not
woman is
obligated
like
to have a
running to
child.
have a
I'm
Hold on,
really
child.
hold on, ladies, hold on. I'm just trying to.
As a
I'm
woman,
trying to establish like
You
what
don't
your
have
guys'
to have a
grievances
child.
are for why you think
Wait.
women's life is harder.
Hold on, your baby was 10 pounds.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
yes, my
I'll
baby's
shit
a
it, yo.
chunky girl. I ate a lot.
Okay. What about
You know.
you said you think it's equal, right?
No,
They
I
gave out like
said
a
men,
fucking doorstep.
and then I wanted to add to that because as a woman, you're not obligated
What'd
to
you
have
say?
a child. That's a decision that you make.
Speak up.
Hey, listen, man. Yo, I
And I said men because I think that they have higher expectations, and socially and economically, it's a little bit more harder for them.
All right, and then who else? Did anyone else here? You said it's equal, or
I said equal.
why do you think it's equal?
I think men have the societal pressure to be a protector, a provider, a leader, and a lot of times they don't want to live up to that standard because they didn't have someone to teach them that. And I think.
Do you think women are worthy of living up to that standard in today's day and age?
Most of them.
Do I think men are worthy of living?
No, because you're saying a lot of guys don't feel the need to rise up to the occasion of being a protector, and a provider, or provisioner. Fine. Do you think women are worthy of that though in today's day and age? Because you're saying guys don't want to rise up to it, so I'm asking, like, do you think women are worthy of that today?
If a man is a leader, then he would lead. So he
No.
would teach his woman to be worthy of that. That's all I'm going to say.
I don't
but
think you're-
as far as it comes to both, I think I think it's equal. And as for me as a woman, the things that I've struggled with, obviously not childbearing because I've never had a child or been pregnant or struggled with any of that stuff.
All right,
But
you.
I have struggled with living up to the societal pressure of not following how I look. So like, because I look younger, people don't take me as serious as they would take someone who looks older or who looks more disheveled at the workplace. Because I'm an attractive female, I do get.
Wait, sorry, what?
So she's saying her looks have held her
Yes, I
back.
agree.
Her good looks have held her
She's
back.
Pretty good.
in the workplace.
Did you explain the halo effect earlier? That like,
Wait, she's an attractive female.
The double-edged sword of.
Sorry, can we get
Can I answer your question?
an audio check?
Oh, wait, you don't think I'm an attractive female?
I don't think. Let's
Hold
not
on. Is it time for rating? Or
Not that you have
What
to
is
think that,
rating?
but
let's hear her
They
question though.
actually
Yeah, go ahead. What
What's
you
your
want to say?
question?
No, I don't have a question.
It's me. I wanted to answer
Oh.
the question that you were asking her.
Yeah.
She had a
If
question.
women, you said if women are deserving of a
yeah,
provider.
because she was saying that like a lot of guys aren't rising up, and my argument is, do you think that modern women are deserving of guys to rise up and rise to this level to deal with the new modern woman?
No.
Okay, why do you
Because
say
I
no?
would say if you look back in the day where that was more seen, where it's more common, where a man would provide for a woman, it's mainly like when they went to war and things like that, and the woman would stay at home, be a wife. They wouldn't be like with the everything that's happening in society with a
Feminism, going to work and school and all that.
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
Y'all wanted it. you
Or
got it.
like and not that in any offense or anything like that, but they wouldn't be doing like OnlyFans, things like that. That wasn't something that was
All right.
happening back then.
What about you? What you said? It's harder for men or women, or you said it's equal?
Me?
Yeah.
I said men.
Okay. Why do you think it's harder for men?
Social standards,
Okay.
economic standards. Yeah.
All right.
I
Interesting.
don't think that those are issues for women.
Okay.
Sure.
Do you think women, because you guys also said like women get judged and they don't get a fair shot or whatever, do you think like that's like bad that they don't get a fair shot allegedly?
I don't think anyone deserves a fair shot at anything.
I think you always have
What?
to prove the cover of your book, like no matter what. Like that's what interview processes are for. Like, don't judge a book by its cover. You're always gonna still be proving the cover of your book.
Speaking of
Yeah.
a book coming very soon.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. But look, I think we should make women second-class citizens again. If I'm going to be very honest, I think feminism has been a monumental failure in many different ways.
What's your background?
I think women. Hold on. I think women are dumber than men in general. I think women don't really innovate. They're not
True.
They don't really provide any type of ingenuity. They don't really provide to society outside of children and having a family. And I think in general, the feminism project has been a huge detriment to society. It's hurt us. I think we're getting dumber and stupider by allowing women to have more power. I think countries like Russia and China are starting to overlap us because we've given women a fair seat in our society, and it's created a lot of issues for us. And I think feminism is a monumental failure in general. Americans are stupider than our counterparts in Asia and in Eastern Europe, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean
And,
these girls can't even name 3 countries.
yeah,
and
it's
they're
just nuts.
voters.
Some of
Not
us could.
everybody. Not
I would
everybody.
be okay with that.
And when I say this, like, I think women should vote. I think they should be focusing on being at home. I think you're talking about privilege and all this other stuff that like men have. I think the reason why women get, labeled in certain ways is because they just are inferior to men in many ways. Like, the reality is that women suck at almost everything compared to men. There's nothing that I could think of that women are better than men at that both actually can participate in. Can you name anything women are better than at?
Child rearing.
Like realistically
Thank you,
speaking,
babes.
can any of you guys like name anything that women are actually better than men at when we both
I
can
think
actually do it?
communicating for really because you're communicating these points, but it's not in a way that's conducive to anybody right now.
Like, we
you
can't
don't
have a
you don't have any statistics,
Giving
any proof
No,
showing
no,
that.
no, no,
Where's
we-
your
Sure, I can go through this.
credibility?
See, and I love that you said communication.
Yeah.
See, here's the problem with women. You guys got so offended by what I said, you didn't really even hear
I didn't say
everything
I was
that I said.
offended. It
Because
was
with
hard to
women, see,
hear.
you're talking over me right now. Another female trait.
Fast.
Yep.
The problem with women is that you guys care about how the communication is conveyed. You guys don't care about what's actually communicated. So if I told you that men control the majority of infrastructure, if I tell you that most inventions are made by men, if I told you that everything that we have in this world, whether it's the lights, the cameras, everything that's built was created and built by men, every revolution was led by men, every society is led by men, patriarchies are just how the world works in general, you guys would get mad about that, but that's the truth. Women really only have any type of authority or power because we allow you guys to have it. And I think it's been a huge social failure.
So you want the world to be like Iran or the Middle East or, that's what you want?
Yeah, I think they have a better check of women in general. Like, I think feminism in itself has created a lot of
Yes.
problems because feminism is the Trojan horse that's created a lot of the progressive issues that we have now.
So then why don't you live in a Muslim country?
Well,
Um,
here-
there's
go
a lot of reasons for that. I mean, it's mostly about the people.
No,
It's
but
not
he
about
could,
the ideas necessarily.
Oh, but he could have the life he wants where women don't have rights, and he could have the wife he wants or the 3 wives he wants, and he could tell them to be silent and beat them and do whatever he wanted.
I don't think
Okay.
he's saying
well,
that
just
women
because
should
there's
not
good
have
elements
rights.
of that society, doesn't necessarily make it better. That we used to have that as Europeans too, but we've kind of let
we
it slip with feminism, and that's for the worst.
But so do we want, you're saying that you don't want to move to a Middle Eastern country, but you want America to become a Middle Eastern country. Then
Who
it will
said
just
that?
Nobody
Who
said
said
no
that.
one said
We're
that.
just advocating
What I
you
against
wanted
said is-
women to be a
feminism.
second-class citizen, and that was in the
And that's
70s.
how it
That's not
was.
how Iran was, but it
Communication.
is
No,
now.
that's
Yeah,
how
see,
society was
I
in
love how
America.
she just jumped to that conclusion.
Yeah.
What I'm simply saying is that feminism is extremely pernicious and it creates a lot of other issues because feminism is the Trojan horse from which many toxic progressive ideals come from.
Yeah.
Like gay marriage, transgenderism, pornography, all this stuff got led in by feminism first.
Wait.
Feminism was the root cause of a lot of the issues, and then the destruction of the nuclear family, which is the most important thing, was absolutely destroyed through feminism because now women care more about pursuing a career, making
Yeah.
money, maybe being promiscuous, doing other things versus having a family.
Yeah.
Honestly,
But
I
men are
agree.
gay, and the worst trans people are women.
Wait, what?
You just said that women started like gayness and like transsexuality, but men are trans women.
I swear, are
and
you
men are gay.
listening to the same audio feed as us?
She's not.
Because
I
you just
have a question.
you always make these insane
Women,
beliefs. and
women
it's-
voted in a lot of the progressive policies that are the
Yeah.
most pernicious to society.
But men
this is
made the
why we need
choices.
to remove the female vote. I'm a big firm believer
Correct.
that we need to repeal the 19th Amendment because women vote with their emotions. Women don't vote for the betterment of society. They typically vote for the betterment of women because women are addicted to security and protection. So guess what Democrats and progressives do? We'll go ahead and give you free money. We'll go ahead and give you free protection. We'll give you this. Women crave that. So
Yeah.
since women don't have critical thinking skills, they look, I'm going to go to the guy that's going to give me security. I'm going to go to that. And that's
Abortion
what they do.
rights.
Abortion rights. Women are single issue voters a lot of the times, and they crave certain policies that are destructive for the society in general.
True.
That's
It's
very
a lot
true.
better when these women just acknowledge that they're stupid and acknowledge they should have no rights, rather than these like pseudo intellectual ones over here who are straight up just fucking airheads.
I mean, I don't
You know?
vote, so it doesn't matter to me either way.
I think we vote. I think there are women out there that
No, you don't
vote on the issues. Like I
Sure.
was really concerned
There's
about
always a
healthcare.
minority of women that are going to be informed. There's always going to be a minority of women that are intelligent for sure. But the majority of you are retards. I'm just being honest.
Yes.
There's going to be brilliant women everywhere. There's some smart girls out there that know what they're talking about, that know what they're doing. But the majority of women are stupid. And I'll tell you why. Because you guys can afford to be stupid. There is no proclivity for women to earn money, to become intelligent, to get an education, whatever. There's no proclivity because you guys can get by on your looks.
Yeah.
Okay. So why the hell are women going to work hard and become intelligent and work their ways up if they don't have
You
to
don't
a lot
have
of the
to.
times?
Yeah.
Why do you think women are considered bimbos that are hot? Because they don't have to be intelligent. So since there's no proclivity on women to be producers or any of this other stuff, they're just not gonna.
You stay the same.
So like, why the hell are we gonna some of you guys can't even name 3 countries, but you guys can vote for the fucking president. That's crazy to me.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's absolutely nuts. Like, women are overgrown children, in my opinion. You guys can have guns. You guys all have the same rights and resources
You
that
can
men do.
drive?
You can drive, but you guys are stupid. And you guys are not held to the same standard as men. You guys have all the same authority with none of the fucking responsibility. How is it that if I get you pregnant, you can abort the baby, but I have no say in it?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
But then I'm held to the standard where I got to pay child support.
Child support. Yo,
It's like you just make 20 points, and it's like, how are we supposed to dive into any one of them? You just want us to agree with
Right,
like,
you
No, you
just
don't have to
really
agree. You
fast.
can push back on any
Just
one of them. But I'm just
rapidly fast.
giving
Hard when you
you.
say
I'm just
something.
giving
Lock
you
on one, then.
because you said you don't have any facts or statistics. There
Myron,
you go.
they're not very smart.
But
You have to slow it down for them.
you're not giving data. You're not giving numbers.
He
though.
is giving data and
Okay.
numbers.
What is
I
your?
don't
What
hear
is
it.
your?
I don't
Okay.
hear-
What do you
I'm not
disagree
the
with?
one making the argument. You're also saying
disagree with then?
you're also categorizing everyone as a feminist. Like,
Yeah.
why do you think we're all women are feminists?
Well, I know you're a feminist because you pursued a career, obviously, and you mentioned like
That
things
makes
like
me
the
a
glass ceiling.
feminist
Yes.
because
yes.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yes.
And 37 with no kids.
Yeah.
Tells me a lot
Yeah.
about you.
Yeah. Single.
that would make me a
about that.
feminist.
Yes,
Bro?
because
Yeah.
see, you don't even.
By default. No, just by default. You're feminist.
Yeah, whether you label yourself or not, your behaviors are indicative of that as of a feminist. You have clearly pursued a career in education over a family. You have you live a feminist ideology.
But
Why is that like? Why can't that be a form of survival? Like, why can't that be like a survival mode? And this,
I'm a feminist.
I feel like that song also messed us up too. But and independent. Like,
Culture.
there's things that like, but
don't
it's
women
just-
have no choice? Like, we live in this society. We have to live in the society that is provided for us. So aren't we all, like, aren't men and women all just trying to do the best they can? I'm not saying that there aren't people that aren't stupid on both sides and people who don't care. But, like, isn't everyone trying? Like, I think that we're trying to create this really big bridge between it's men and women. And, like, I think we just need to be, like, kinder to each other. I don't...
Yo.
I kinder to men, kinder to women. Like, I don't understand.
That's the problem is that we're too kind to you guys. We don't tell you guys if you're dumb. We don't tell you
Yeah,
guys.
you
if
do.
you guys,
You've been doing it the whole time.
well, I'm the one of the
Today.
few.
You guys are just
I'm one of the few.
I mean, you're
Not
just
enough
being
men.
performative at the same time for
I don't
all
know.
the
I could
cocks
say
that are
that's
buying your
you
fucking
because you
home.
don't have any
money off your
platforms
tits,
right now,
alright?
and you need
Yeah.
to be
You make money
performative
off
in
your
order
tits.
to be seen by people because you ran over someone with your car.
Yeah,
Like,
but
you have
at
to be
least
And
he's
you
on
performative.
got-
content.
And listen, you got 2 chins hanging off your fat fucking
I
face.
actually
Don't even talk about it.
That's very cute, and I see how you have to resort to like
Let's go Rumble!
shaming people because even yourself is
Let's go
so
Rumble!
insecure, and that's
Guys,
why you
we
have
got
to look
30K watching us right now. Let's go to Rumble, man. Let's go
God.
all the way and
Should try
clap.
it.
Rate these hoes, man. Let's fucking go.
Yeah.
Guys.
It's
Even
funny
if you guys
how
are
you're
watching on Kick,
congratulating me
spam
for
the link on Kick so
lip-waxing,
they
and
can come
now
on
you've
over.
switched
Last people come on over to Kick. It's a Rumble. Come on over. Come on over to Rumble right now. Yeah.
Also,
Fuck.
yeah, guys, this is gonna be crazy.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
Look,